Hello everybody, my name is Lucas and welcome back to the 42nd month world tour. Here we are, the annoying zombies down below, and we're being pushed by Jim. Wouldn't have it any other way. It is currently episode 584 over here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rouindog1. I took a month break from Minecraft and I've been streaming a lot more variety, and it has been making streams a lot more fun. But we're back on the Minecraft grind now and having a blast. And even though it's only been 19 episodes since the last world tour, we've got a jam-packed one for you. Starting off with the fact that we have updated to version 1.19.4. We finally updated after 2 years of being stuck in 1.17. I finally am able to experience the cool new cave generation. Since before, this was lava level. This was all we had. But now, we have even further. I'm going to take 2 seconds and fix the gamma override so you can actually see. Now we have all the deep slate fun. But yeah, we updated, and with the updating, we went exploring for our first mangrove swamp. And I'm not actually going to go there since there's no reason for me to go there. But if I zoom out, we basically left anything in the positive Z direction untouched, besides the little bits and bobs here. So we finally went down and ventured into the positive Z axis. We started all the way over here. We got ourselves little grove biomes, and eventually we'll be in 119 basically exclusively when we build our final bases and stuff. But we got some grove biomes, and you guys have been playing on this version for years by now. But all the way over here, we found the elusive mangrove swamp. So this is where we got, our first mangrove propagule and some other stuff. But yeah, it's a tiny little mangrove swamp. That's it. Little witch hut. There's actually a little bit more over here. A little tiny bit right here. So yeah, we kind of got turbo scammed out of mangrove biome. But whole lots of jungle though. Look, jungle here, big jungle, like there are big forest areas here, right? More jungle here. And then all this is jungle here. Huge amounts of jungles. Next up, and we started this project literally last stream, was bees. Bees are now not bugged, so they can't randomly die. So we're actually able to rebuild our bee population. And I don't think she'll be out and about here. But Beatrice led the charge. Probably won't be able to find her. But Beatrice originally was tethered to a post over here. I think I featured her in a world tour. She was right here. We moved her in to the beehive. And now she phosphored. She spawned in all the other bees that you see here. There she is! Beatrice. Beautiful. And so the reason that we need honey is for another project later. But I will show that off in a little bit. But our beehive operation is phosphor. I don't know. Oh, I can't mine that one. It needs a campfire. Next thing up on the list is actually over here at the Evil Castle, but it is not the Evil Castle itself. It is what I have done underneath the Evil Castle. We tore down all the old villager things, except for the ones that are currently housing my toolsmiths and my librarians. I don't like these designs. They're kind of impractical, in my opinion. And I wanted a fresh start with lots of librarian villagers and other stuff. So I tore it all down, and eventually we're going to tear these two down. And this is our villager farm. As you can see, the villagers are very good at not trampling their own crops. But I figured we ought to build a little villager frick chamber 3.0, I think this is now. And they even spawned Jeff 2.0. There you go. But that's basically it done here. We just tore it all down. And this is the start of another design for the librarians. Because the new proposed villager changes, which I think are disastrous for the game. I want to make sure that I have plenty of librarian villagers with all of the maximum efficiency trades, you know, efficiency 5, protection 4, sharpness 5. So I want to have at least one of every single maxed out villager book. And so that's why these are kind of laid out. Alright, next up in the world tour is the super smelter, and I'm actually going to start in the nether for this one as we traverse the nether together. We'll be met by not the super smelter. Then we turn around and we're met by an ominous looking door. And this is it. I bring you the entire super smelter. Now there's actually more. I'll explain. This right here is the chest where you put your items in. You flick the lever, the chest goes away. You then click this button to dispense your items. And then a little minecart will come pick it up. And then eventually your items will come straight in and bonk you on the head. Yeah. And then you just leave and you go through another portal. It's completely hands-off, hands-free experience. But instead I'm going to actually leave and show you what we've got. This right here is the super smelter. I know, it's a lot more than just the little room that I have here. Looks like the bamboo farm just ran. Anyways, the bamboo farm here is the main power source of the farm. We are using furnaces and bamboo. So the bamboo gets harvested, it then goes down here, and then this is our minecart pickery-uppery system. Where, if you notice down here, there's a little signal that gets sent. That after a long while, actually, let's follow this. I remember building it. Sorry for bonking my head. But basically the system gets harvested, like the observer up here. Yep. The observer up here detects, hey, bamboo's grown. So it sends the flying machines all the way over. Then once the flying machines get all the way over, we then send a redstone signal down to here, which is then a little pulse extender. We wait a little bit, and then the minecarts trigger. They go down, then they go back, and then they wait a little bit, and then they go down, and they go back again, and then that's it. If you just have them constantly go, they will eventually get out of sync, and the whole system will break. And this is El Mango's fast hopper minecart unloader. Check it out on YouTube. Great. The bamboo comes, it gets shot out here, and it goes all the way over here. Comes up the tube of greatness, and then it gets distributed into every single one of these. Just right here. The don't mind the Z scoring. But it goes all the way around, and actually I don't think all these chests do not have bamboo in them, even though I AFK'd, because for some reason the sea pickles right here broke, like the game. Like they weren't working, so I have to use a honey block instead, and that somehow works. I tested it because technically the items are on the side of both of these blocks, so they come here, they hit the edge of the honey block, but since the water sticks out by 1 pixel, they get picked up. No, the sea pickles were originally here, and it still didn't work. So I had to push them forward, and now everything works as intended. I don't know why that corner was causing me trouble. Like, basically what would happen is they would get momentum locked, and instead of hitting the side of the block and losing all of their eastward momentum, like towards the wall, they would kind of clip, and then they'd go over here, and then they would just miss the hoppers. And so they would just go around, and then hit the cactus. And the cactus is here to collect all the extra bamboo. To collect the extra. Exactly, yeah, the cactuses collect the extra. So, yeah, no big deal. The minecart's right here. This is where the minecart chest unloads all of the items that you put in, right? Goes across, gets sucked into the furnace here, right? You can put your item in. And then eventually, after it's smelted, it comes out of the furnace, which is right here, gets pulled into these droppers. And then the other lever that was in the little house up top triggers this observer, which then makes all of the droppers at once spit out all their items. And then the little hopper minecart right here goes around and picks up all the items, and then eventually that comes over here, gets unloaded. So all of your smelted items go bleh. They then go down here, up, around, go whee, and get dropped off right back in the house, right where I said they would. That's the super smelter. If we check it out on the map here, you'll zoom in. Looks pretty cool. I would like to put the words super smelter in some bright color. Alrighty, next up, we have the nether perimeter. And there's something inside of it this time. It's not just a perimeter. This right here is the fledgling wither skeleton farm. Currently, it is a blaze piglin magma cube farm, and I don't have my fire resistance potions on me. Wait a minute, that's not true. I have the ring of fire. I literally made this last stream, by the way. Already coming in clutch. Let's go. This is Max Child right here. He made most of this. And if I don't know what button I have to push in here, but basically, you know, I'm gonna look for it. So if you notice, every single one of these farms is built within a red box. The centers of these farms are built in a red box. I scared myself for a second. See how there's a little box in here? This is, I don't really know what it's technically called. Call it a spawning space, right? Wither skeletons can spawn here. They are more likely to spawn in here. Technically, I think they're crossroads, right? These centers here are crossroads. Bounding box, yes. Well, the whole thing is the bounding box, but these are individual bounding boxes. And so we came up with a little design here. Full shout out to Strom. Link will be down in the description, probably, if I remember. But we Mac amended this design and helped put it together for me. And this is not even the full story. So this is what I have so far. If I turn off the structure toggle here and then turn on the schematic, you can see that there is a lot more to be built here. So this is the killing chamber. Basically the wither skeletons are going to come in on both sides and they're going to stand on these frog lights. And I just have to stand here and swipe at the armor stand. So the way that the wither skeletons are going to get here, yeah, by the way, if you want to copy down the URL, I'll try and post it in the description. Or you could just copy it from the chat right there. The way that this works is if I turn the schematic off, you'll notice that it's not on the old ones, but on these segments over here. Notice there's little slits right here? Well, there's going to be iron golems here. And then the wither skeletons are going to go, charge! They're going to fall down. Then they're going to stand on these honey blocks. And then mine carts are going to come out on all of these tracks, and they're going to get picked up. And then they're going to get brought back, and they're going to get dropped off. And it is going to be the coolest wither skeleton farm you have ever seen in your entire life. Because it's literally going to be fetching wither skeletons. And it's going to be so cool, and hopefully I will have it fully functional in the next world tour. Because I, myself, am really excited to see this thing in action. But we have the main spawning platforms done. The only thing that really we're waiting on, we're actually waiting on two things. I have all the materials except the 5,000 wither roses, that's the word I'm looking for, and the 230 honey blocks, which is why I was breeding the bees earlier at the start of the episode. You see, it's all coming for full circle. I'm doing things for a purpose here. So that's why we're dealing with the bees, just to get the honey. And then I will start building a wither skeleton farm very soon. So that's the wither skeleton farm. I mean, it spawns wither skeletons right now, but it also spawns, you know, mainly blazes and skeletons. And see, look, there's wither skeletons. I mean, it works. I've gotten lots of skulls already. However, I needed to spawn only wither skeletons. Next up, we have the wool farm. I don't entirely remember how much of this I finished last time, but we have a nice little item elevator because all the wool is now being harvested and being sent up through here. It is going very slow. Eventually this will catch up, and the wool is being shot up through here. Look at that, it matches all nice and pretty. And then up it goes, and then it gets sorted. Right here we've got all of our different colors of wool being sorted into shulker boxes. That's it. That's all there is. Now, I know I said that I was going to build this right here. This, it's a shear refueling thing, right? Because these require shears here. Oh, if I turn on my rendering. These require shears. You know, eventually they're going to run out, so I need to refill the shears. And I was going to build a system. However, I haven't needed this wool farm since I built it, basically. And I just built it as a side project anyway, so I'm not too fuffed about it. But this is the state of our wool farm. Eventually I'll get to this and we'll make it completely AFKable. But I'm not really concerned about that, you know? It is what it is. But that's the wool farm. It's done. On to the next thing. Alrighty, last major new thing that we have is the crafting area. This right here is going to be the area where I craft all of my 1 million TNT. Over on this side, we have 64 gunpowder shulker unloaders. Over here, we have something like 50-something sand unloaders. Now, the reason it's not crafted yet is because I have all of the gunpowders in. Oh, jeez. I have all the gunpowders in, equally distributed. Alright, these are the extras. I just chucked them in there. But if you check the sand, I have nothing. So I'm still waiting on AFKing, but the way that this works is if I flick this lever for a very brief amount of time, a whole bunch of gunpowder is going to come my way. Here it comes. And sand is going to come from the other direction eventually, but as you can see, I flicked the lever for 3 little boops, and I got this much gunpowder, so I have no idea if I'm going to be able to click the buttons fast enough, but I'm going to have overflow protection, so I can always turn the lever off and then craft and make sure that all of it is good. But yeah, that's the crafting grid. Now I just need to wait to actually AFK the sand duper that I built by Raiseworks. Shout out to him. I showed it off in an earlier world tour, but I just need to actually collect the sand and eventually move all the gunpowder in here. Last thing up on the world tour is we have 3 new dirt houses to show off, I believe. First up, we have Grace's Tier 7 dirt house. The Gracinator Tier 7, featuring the Mangrove Kitchen with a painting of Skeleton Bread Man. So the Tier 7 features an exquisite refrigerator freezer sideways combo, as well as some extra cabinet storage on the end with a nice sink and some cupboards and some nice shelving units, as well as a 65-inch flat screen TV And a little disco mat, as well as another window. And that's what you get with tier 7. Little kitchen. And all that fun stuff. Yay. That's Grace's tier 7. Next we have... Where's Chris's house? I believe Chris's house is right over here. Chris upgraded to tier 2 on a little bit while after that. Tier 2. Lovely house for Chris. And the newest member of the Mushroom Island HOA, we have Interstellar Desk Plant with the newest house of them all. Just 14 days ago, or 13 days ago. And their item of choice was another right pickaxe. So if you would like to become a Dirt House member, obviously the house has become less dirt-like over time. Yes, Grace's is floating. No, I don't care. You could have your very own tier 7 dirt house eventually. But come on over to twitch.tv/RudeDog12 and get your hands on 200,000 channel points, which is a lot. But upgrades are only 100,000. So the biggest hurdle is getting your house. Twitch, say bye to YouTube. YouTube, y'all are awesome. Hope to see you over here in the stream. Twitch.tv/RudeDog1. And we'll see you next time. Bye.